Hey, brother sewing and crafting family, Angela Wolf here. And how's your day going? Okay, so I've got a really fun project for you. Pop in, say hi. I am live streaming, and I've got a fun tutorial for you. No, it's not making aprons, and no, it's not refashioning a jean shirt into a stylish cowboy shirt. I was actually cleaning the closet here at the office, which has a lot of refashion projects, and I was like, whew, that is one big sleeve. What do you think? Okay, so my idea for you today is my mom sent me these two aprons. They're from my great great grandmother. Now, there is one photo since I'm the oldest of five kids. So, myself, my mom, my grandma, and my great grandma. One photo. So it's amazing. Although I don't remember meeting her because I was like one. But what a great memory, right? So I was looking at this cotton yesterday, and if you've been following me all week, we were live on Brother, and then yesterday we were sewing jeans, and I said I've got something that's totally outside the box, but I also have a box downstairs of my grandmother's, some of her favorite outfits. I mean, they were going to throw them away, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I remember this outfit all the time. So this has been on my to-do list for a very, very, very long time. And then getting these from my great great grandmother just last week kind of inspired me to get rolling. So the only issue is I love this fabric. I want to keep this apron. I don't want to cut it up. So I kind of had some ideas. So today I'm going to give you some inspiration. We're going to make fabric using the Print Moda. We're going to turn it into something really cute. You could turn it into a little pillow or a mug rug. Remember the mug rug we tried to work on a few weeks ago? Yeah, that's really going to happen today. I won't get squirreled. Although that table runner that I did for my mom with all the names embroidered, that was a killer gift. So if you missed that tutorial, it's a great idea for someone. But anyways, so that's what we're going to do for these. So I see you all rolling in. It is so nice to see you. Yeah, we really are live today. So leave your comments and questions, and I'll try to answer them. Now, it's just me today, so if I miss a question, just drop it in again when I come over. All right? Okay, you ready to get inspired? Grab your coffee or tea, and let's get rolling. Okay, so I had my mom send me some photos. Let me just take down this banner so you can see a little bit better. Okay, so I had my mom send me these photos, and I thought these are so cute, right? So I put them all on some just photograph paper, and I'm going to cut them out. Now, I could throw these in the scan and cut and do a real pretty cut, but for this, I'm just cutting them. But if you have a scan and cut, I could scan this entire sheet and cut out each one of these with maybe even a little decorative outside cut. So I'll just cut a few of them. I love old photos. Aren't these adorable? No, these are not me. But I did find a funny one. There's one in here. Oh my goodness. Is this the one? Yeah, I know it's kind of faded, but I'm not sure which relative that is, but I would not. He looks like he's really grumpy. He definitely had a bad morning. And I'll probably find out that this is somebody that I know well, and they're probably watching the live show. Don't take it personally. All right, so I've got all these little photos, and then the one that really inspired it is this one here. So let me cut this off. There's my great-grandmother in that apron. So I asked, a few questions. They said she always wore an apron, always. She was always in the kitchen, I guess. And she always wanted to keep her dress clean. So I wouldn't really know what that is because I'm not very good in the kitchen. You all are helping me with my bread recipes. By the way, thank you. I got a ton of emails yesterday I haven't replied to yet. But you all are helping me with my recipes. So this is kind of the idea for it. And I wanted to have these photos because I thought, why don't I make kind of a little, kind of a mug rug? This is what a mug rug looks like, which we did this a long time ago, but a little bigger. And then with a little sleeve that I could just place these in the pocket. of them. So then somebody who has it, they have the pictures and a place to put their tea or just to keep it as like a memory, just a memory rug. So this is the inspo for that. So what supplies do you need? Well, first of all, I have this apron and then I have the bright red one that you saw on the dress form. And oh, I'm looking for my phone. It's in my pocket. Okay, so open the Art Spirit app. And I'll open that up and then I'll bring you in here. Okay. I'll start over so you can actually see what I did. It's loading. I'll bring you in just a little bit closer. There you go. You can probably see that a little better. So if you've not been in here for a while, don't forget there's always new stuff that pops in here. I absolutely love that. All right, so let's go to new, which is down here. And let's see, design editor. Here we go. And let's go to fabric roll. And I'm going to just pick A4. It makes it just a little bit bigger. And click done. All right, so I want to go into my camera roll. I've already taken a photo of the fabric. So let's see, my image. You know what? This one actually is a little bit more of the color. I see a little wrinkle, but it kind of makes it look more of like an apron. So let's go ahead and print that. Click the check mark. I'm not mashing it up at all. You know, like, well, you'll see that in just a second. So this will be one side. Click done. Save. Oh, I better name it. All right. And for my printer, there's my printer. I know it's already set up, and my print settings. I've been doing a borderless, and we can just do eco mode. So you have eco or fine. They both look great. So just I'm going to do eco mode just to save some ink. All right, and click print. Now I just put some more paper in there. So, yep, see it says it's sending. And I can actually hear it sending. I'll just bring this right over here. If you can see past my serger, there's been a lot of sewing going on in the studio this week. All right, we're watching it print. And then I thought, so this would be nice for one side. I was playing with color a little bit, so you'll see one that I printed off that was a little bit not quite as vibrant as the apron, which was fine. I like it just fine. Any questions so far? Oh, Julie, that's a good idea. And I have one of those things, so I'll laminate the photos. I'll print some more. Yeah. Oh, it's so great to see you all today. That's what I was thinking. I love the aprons. They're so cute, but now I can print fabric that looks just like it. Now she wasn't wearing it, but I think it's still going to be really cute. Cindy, you want to see the shirt? Well, I'm wearing leggings because I just got back from the gym. So I threw the shirt on over my gym outfit. What do you think? I'll show you more. All right, so let me hop over. It looks like it came out of the printer. There it is. All right, so I'm going to grab that and we'll go back to the table. It says it was sent. Oh, this looks good. And I'm going to show you the one that I've already printed a few of these today. So I've been playing around a little bit. So click OK. And I want to show you one more that would be kind of cool with this. So I'll bring you back over here. This time I'm going into geometric patterns. All right, let's click the A4, click done, go into the images, and there's the same image. But now it mixes it up a little bit. So I could have one on one side, this on one side, You can see it's very close. Now let me show you the one I printed earlier. I was playing with making it just a little bit darker. So this one has a little more green in it. I did that on purpose. It was more with my image that I took a photo of, not in the printer. So let's just see what these look like. Image, done. And then I'll quit moving this just so maybe you can see it a little bit better. You're probably like, don't move, okay? Okay. So down here, these are where you have a lot of different options. We could change the color, but I want this color to match the one I just did. So let's just leave it original. And this is where it takes a little piece out of it. Look at the different designs. So watch up here as I touch these triangles. Ooh, I like that one. Okay, so I'll remember that's it. And then if you want more, it'll even show you more. So it just takes a little piece of the design. Oh, I don't know which one. I like them all. But I think this one is my favorite. So there we go. And click the check mark. Anything else you want to do? No, that's good. So I'm going to click done. Let's go ahead and hit save. I'm just adding a letter there just to save it. And again, it's ready to print. So click on your settings, borderless, and we're going to use the eco mode. All right, that looks good. And then click print. All right, now while that's sending over, and you can hear it, there it goes. So this is one I worked on earlier that's a little different coloring. So let me bring you back out. There you go. You see, I've got my tea on the table. As long as it's pretty close to what she had here. I also thought this was really cute, and I would love to know what you all, if you have heard this, or if your grandmother or great grandmother did this. My mom said she always had a safety pin on the front of her apron. I was like, why? Like, did she hold the recipe there or something? Because, I mean, if it was me, I would need it because I'm always losing everything, which you all know that because we're always playing I Spy in my studio. So she always had that pin on there. And so my mom said, no, she just did it because if something ripped or broke or needed to be put back together. I'm like, brilliant. I should have these attached all over me. Do you guys remember when I used to put Post-it notes all over myself and I would show up on a live show and it would remind me of what I was supposed to say or show? I think this would have been a little classier, just a bit. Yeah. Oh, hey, Dorinda. The app is Art Spira. So I'll type it here so you can see what it looks like, Art Spira. And I'll bring that up. And actually, oh, Brother Sews is so great. They already have it up for you. My mother's calling. I wonder if she's calling to tell me something else about the apron, but Mom, I can't answer. I'm live. So there you go. It's the Art Spira app. So, and you can download it. They have a free version and then they have a paid version if you like. I mean, they have a ton of embroidery designs and it does printing and all these other things. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. Any other question? Hey, Deborah, I thought it was cute too. Hey, Julie, I don't know. Are they made from old flour sacks? That's a good question. I have no idea. I guess that's another question that I'll have to learn. Yeah, so I'm making fabric first. And then we're going to turn it into a mug rug. Okay? Hey, Joanna. All right, so there's the next piece, and I'll meet you back at the table. So the other supplies that you need once you have your fabric. Oh, this turned so cute. So I just made my own fabric, 2 pieces that match beautifully. This is one I did this morning, so you can see I changed the color in my phone before I sent it to the printer. So, there's a lot of editing things that you can do with, on your phone, then send it to the printer. So this for the back and this for the front, I think is going to be beautiful. And let me grab the original because this looks pretty darn good if I don't say so myself. Yeah, it's perfect. So I made them bigger because I made my photo bigger, and then I mashed it up. Oh, this is going to be great. All right, so by the way, this was one I was playing with this morning. Again, another piece of cotton that I did with the red apron. So I could do one of each. I was thinking of doing one on this side and one on that side. I don't know. I mean, you can't see them. They totally don't match, but I guess that's another idea. All right, so when you print your own paper, when you print your own fabric, this is on the Print Moda, not the sublimation printer, totally different. So there's a backing that comes off, and you let these sit. You're supposed to let them sit for about 15 minutes or so. I'll just keep rolling. I'm not going to have you sit there and watch me for 15 minutes, but I'm going to be making a few of these. And then I usually like to give it a good pressing. It just kind of makes that ink stay on there. Oh yes, this is going to be great. I wonder if this one matches at all. It's a little bit a different tint. It's not bad though. I mean, it kind of all ties in together, doesn't it? If I want to do my envelope out of this one that's a little bit yellower. No, I have a better idea. Why don't I do this one with the envelope? Because out of this one piece, I can do one envelope here, and I'll have enough fabric to do an envelope for the other one. And then we can either use this for the back side, or I can use the red, which matches her second apron, which they both remember so well. And you're not going to be able to see it. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so I have some batting here. And you just need one piece of batting. I'm feeling it, making sure I didn't accidentally grab the fusible. I don't need fusible batting, just batting. There we go. I like to cut my batting just a little bit bigger than where I'm going to be using the quilting. I'll trim it later, but for some reason, that's just my preference. All right, so I'm going to save this piece to the side for now. And we're going to put this piece right here. The same back side, let's put this piece. They totally do not match, but you literally cannot see both sides at the same time. I'm just making sure I have these. I'm lining up one corner just so both sides match. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, you know what? I changed my mind. I don't want to, because both sides are so different, I'm just going to go ahead and trim this so it matches the panels. Otherwise, I run the risk of when I quilt, one side won't match the other. All right. Hey, I got lucky today. Okay, there. That looks nice. See that? All right, so we're going to do some quilting on this. And we're going to save the pocket. And also, I have an entire bin of lace and ribbon and other fun things. So I think this is going to end up really cute. All right, you ready? Let's go to the sewing machine. Drop your questions in because we really are live today. All right, any questions? So what do you need to buy? Stephanie, what you need to buy is, well, actually go through your stash. That's what I did. I went through my stash and found some lace. I found some ribbon. If you have bias binding, that would be cute. But just follow along and then you determine what you want to add to yours. So right now I have 2 pieces of fabric that I printed on the Print Moda. So if you have the Print Moda, print 2 pieces of fabric. Actually 3. You need 1 for the pocket. Although you could just use a plain solid for the pocket as well if you decide to do that. which you'll see that. So follow along and then you can kind of determine what you want to do and then you can make your supply list. But for now, I kind of went through my stash to get a lot of these. All right. So I'm on the Luminaire today for sewing. And I could use the Move It foot if I want to, but I'm just fine just sewing this right now the way we are. Thread, I wonder what color. I have silver. I'm actually thinking white is probably going to look the nicest on here. So, yeah, silver from yesterday if you've been sewing jeans with me. Did I finish them? No, but I'm pretty darn close. All right, that looks nice. And let's see, that's silver. Let's put white in there. Is there any other color I could use under here? Oh, I like that. That's like a little red. Let's use that. We'll see if we have enough. So I'm using white in the top and red in the bottom. Line these up again. And it depends how you want to quilt this. Do you want to go on an angle? Do you want it to go straight across? I think I'm going to go ahead and do an angle. I'm going to start at one end and go to the other. You could also do free motion. So I have it on a straight stitch. I'm using a 3.0 stitch length. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on, let's see. I'm playing with the machine here. If you want to use a decorative stitch and you're using the Luminaire, you can put this setting here and it'll show you exactly what the stitch is going to look like, and you can change the stitch right here. I'm just using a straight stitch for this. All right. And then I want to put on, I'm going to turn that off and turn on my grid. See my grid right here? Just barely. Turn this off. There we go. So my grid is about 1 inch, maybe even a little bit more, but I think it's 1 inch. I'm going to start at one end. All the way down to the other end. And then I notice one thing is that my needle is not quite exactly on that line. So I want to make sure that's fixed before I do anything else. And the other thing is, while I'm playing making these, if there's something I don't like, because of the fact that I made the fabric, if I don't like it, I could just do it again, right? I didn't ruin the actual original. Now, if they all want an original piece, I could shorten the apron and just stick an original piece of that fabric inside the pocket too. There's so many different options. Now, this is my great-grandmother's. I only have 2 aprons. For my grandmother, I have a whole bin of some of her favorite outfits. So that one I technically could use for clothes. So I'm just quilting through both sides. See what the bottom, you can barely see it on the top, but on the bottom, I'm using red thread. That looks really cool. Now I did go down through my stash and found some solid color fabrics that match both of these. So if I didn't want to use the Print Moda for both sides, I could use the Print Moda for one side and use the solid on the other, if you know what I mean. All right, let's flip this way. I'm just matching, let's see, I'll go this way. I want to match up my grid. I love that this grid goes on both sides. So I asked this question yesterday while I was sewing jeans on my channel. I know a lot of you have the Luminaire, and a lot of my friends that have the Luminaire say they never sew with it, that it's always embroidering. So I just want to ask, do you sew with it? And the next question is, do you use the laser light? Now, if you have the Stellaire, you have a laser light, you don't have the grid. So you can see that grid's pretty big here. Just a few more. And then when I go to do the other side, I'm going to add a few different things to it. I just want to get one side of this finished to hold the fabrics together. Okay. No need to backstitch. That looks nice. Let's give it a little pressing. Now, everything I do from this point forward is going to show through both sides. So I'll take you over to the ironing board. Okay. So I still need to do some trimming. That's why I usually leave it bigger, but that's okay. My mug rud's going to be a little bit smaller. Oh, you're really close. Here you go. Oh, this is cute. So that's one side, that's the other. They totally don't match at all. But guess what? You can't see both sides at the same time anyways. All right, let's go to the table and kind of piece this design together. All right, I'll square this up when I'm finished sewing everything on. So I want to keep everything focused. This will be the back side. I'm really not going to add anything else to this side. There's really no need. I've got that really pretty red stitching as the quilting. And we're going to kind of focus on this side because I love this. So for the pocket, I want to have like an angle here. Let's see how big we want that. And I want this pocket to go opposite direction of my quilting lines. Oh, and here, just a little FYI. The fabric on the Print Moda, that's 100% cotton. And if you're thinking, you know what, I have to make a few of these, I don't want to print so much on the Print Moda. I just want to have the part that's showing from the Print Moda. Look what I found. So if I decided not to put this on the back side, I could have used this fabric. And also, if I know that I'm going to make a few of these, I could get a few pockets out of this fabric here. So instead of folding this over and having both sides, I can use this fabric, which kind of, helps you save just a little bit. So I brought up a ton of different colors. Now I know why my studio gets so messy after the live shows. But I think I have to make, I have to ask my mom again. I want to say I have to make 4 of these. So I'm just going to cut I'm using that as a guide so I know how wide. And this is just plain old cotton fabric. So if this is my pocket, I want it to go opposite. That looks pretty good. And kind of just playing with this a little bit. I'm going from one corner to the other of this fabric. If you can't cut a straight line, use a ruler. But that looks pretty good. I'll make sure it's straight in a second. So if this is your mug rug area, I want to just double check, will these photos fit in there? Oh, perfectly. Oh, I love that. All right, so let's take this fabric here. I need to press that for sure. For sure. That is one wrinkled mess. All right, this time I will use the ruler. Oh, it wasn't too bad. And then I'll save this fabric for my second one. So I have 2 triangles. And again, you'll measure the corner so it's even on this side and then kind of just skew it over here a little bit. All right. This is going to be our pocket. So let's press this and let's go ahead and sew this together. And with the pocket, you can decide, I want to add a little embellishing. So I have some ribbon here. Childproof ribbon. And that color matches nicely. I also have some lace. Oh, I love lace. And I think that would be really pretty on there too. So let's go ahead and sew this together first. Let's see. Nah. Why don't we add some ribbon just to this piece before we attach the backside? So let's go to the machine. I've got my purple ribbon. I have my lace. Oh, I've got green. Does this match? Not really. We'll go with the neutral color. I mean, the green isn't bad. It's just a little tint off. What color is this? Yeah, I think I like this one here. All right, I'll meet you at the machine. So I have my one piece. Let's see. There you go. Back to the machine. This would also be a great place to use some of your decorative stitches. All right. Whew, here I am. All right, so this is going to be my triangle for my pocket. I could put batting in here if I wanted to. I really don't think I need it, but I am going to turn off the grid. And this time, I want to put white in the bobbin. Maybe. Here it is. I know there was white here when we started. Now for the pocket, and I'll bet for those of you that have followed the live shows for a while, you know one of my favorite things to do is to add something personal. So can you guess what would be really cool on here? Not on the sewing side. I'll give you a hint and leave a comment and give us the thumbs up on the show. By the way, it has to do, this is your hint, with my design center. And what could you do with that? Second hint is I have a letter from my great-great-grandmother. It wasn't to me. It was to one of, I don't even know who it was to. I just saw it on there. I thought it was kind of cool. All right, so I'm just going to attach some of this ribbon. I'm going to pick a zigzag stitch. And make it a little bit less wide. Perfect. Maybe a little wider than that. Oh yeah, that's going to be cute. I'm literally using the zigzag stitch and literally adding the ribbon on. You see that? Right here? That purple really looks nice on there. And I'm not trying to line these up perfectly. I'm just doing these in just a random order. And this is what I was mentioning. If you want to grab some colored thread and do some of the decorative stitches, that would look really nice on here. But here's just a quick tip for you. This cotton fabric, it feels really nice. If you're going to do a bunch of decorative stitches, then you need to put some interfacing on the back side just to make sure that the fabric doesn't, oops. I think, oh, am I out of bobbin? I just started. I'm like, why is this ribbon moving? All right, let's try that again. I'll start at this end. There's no need to backstitch because all the ends of this little pocket are going to be within some of the seams. And let's just do one more, maybe going this way. These are just random, in random places. The ribbon kind of matches on the apron, if you looked closely, it kind of matches the bias binding that she had on there. I'll have to give this one a good pressing too. So I did not use interfacing on here. I just have to be careful that the fabric isn't stretching because I'm adding things on the bias. So can you see that okay? I'll bring it over to the ironing board in a minute so you can see it a little bit better. All right, now let's add some lace. Ooh, this would be pretty. How about right along the edge? And now I'm switching back to a straight stitch. This is going to be the edge that we add that other piece of fabric. So the lace will kind of pop out. All right, so look closely. I have the lace. There's my seam allowance right here, and the lace is facing this way. So once I attach the other side, this lace will kind of just stick out like that. That's what I was referring to. All right. And why don't we add just maybe one more side of lace? No, I think just one. I think that's enough. All right, let me grab my green piece of fabric. I brought it over so you didn't have to wait for me to get back. I'm going to hit it with the iron real quick. Like magic. So here's my triangle. Let's line this up. And I'll flip it over because I'll use that stitch line that I just did with the lace as a guide for my seam allowance. Open that up. See how nice that looks? So give it a pressing, and then we'll just do one row of top stitching to secure that. So I'll meet you at the iron. Hey, Michael, that's definite bobbin roulette. I like that. All right. Press it open. And we'll square this off too, just to make sure that it matches up on all the sides. So that's the back side, and that's the front side. So can you see the little pieces of ribbon that I did? I think that's really cute. Do you guys think I should add more lace or ribbon or just leave it? I mean, I just wanted it to be a little decorative. All right, I'll leave it. Because I can get really carried away. All right, so on the way to the table, just real quick. So on this little corner piece, this is where you could add the beautiful rows of decorative stitching, embroidered stitches, all of those things would be really cute on here. Yeah, I think so too. All right, let's head back to the table. Oh, Julie, you like the red on the back? Good. Oh, Ellen wants a good travel combo machine. A good Oh, I have some ideas for you. So you don't want it too heavy, right? Oh, one of my girlfriends just bought a brother combo machine and she loves it. It only has, not only, but I think the hoop size only goes up to 5x7. So if you want a combo machine, Ellen, leave a note. What size hoop do you want? And then I can help you with that. and making sure I'm not missing anything. Hey, Caroline. You guys do sew with your luminaire. Awesome. Brenda says, someone gives her one, she'll definitely sew with it. So you, perfect, perfect. All right, let me head back in. If I miss any questions, just drop them in when I come back. Oh, Cindy, what's the safety pin for? She used to use it in case something fell apart, or I don't know if it fell apart or if she was missing stuff. I have to get it exactly from my mom, but it was kind of like that. Oh, you guys are so right. Handwriting and embroidery, her signature. You all know me so well. That is the correct answer. That's the correct answer. All right, let's head to the table. Keep rolling on this little cute project here. All right, so we need to square this off. That looks pretty good. Let's do this side. Oops, I didn't hit quite enough right there. And then this looks like I need to square this off a little bit as well. So let's go ahead and just get that out of the way now. I felt my blade not quite going all the way down through all those layers. Didn't I say I got lucky because I had a blade that was sharpened? Maybe I grabbed the wrong one. Oh, there we go. I just had the wrong angle. Now, how's this side look? I think this side I got to cut off just a little bit. I see somebody asking about my sleeves. So it's not a Brother product, but can you guys guess what magazine this outfit was in? I did an article in a magazine quite a few years ago, and it was how to refashion jean shirts, and I added this beautiful lace. I'll give you a hint. It was before I started embroidering, or I probably would have made my own lace. All right, that looks pretty good. And it's just a little bit bigger right up here, but that's fine. We'll sew it in place. I'll cut it after we sew it. So look at how nice this looks. So there's my ribbons. My backside I love that green accent. So if I did not have two aprons, I'm going to keep this on the backside because this will remind them of both of her aprons. But if I didn't have that, the backside would definitely be green. Okay, and look at how cute these pictures are going to fit in there perfectly. All right, so one more thing. You could print, I'm giving you a lot of ideas, and I'm dying to see what you do with this, so be sure to tag me and Brother when you make this. But I could print some of these photos on the Print Moda, and I could actually turn these into little appliques on here as well. The other idea that I had was to use a solid color fabric, and you see my phone here. I'll show you what I was referring to. I just have to find it real quick. When you have 7,000 photos on your phone. Okay, I think it was right before the fishing tournament last week. Yeah, for real. It was before that. Okay, my mom had some letters of hers. And I took photos because I want to take a photo of these and drop them into, okay, so this is my other grandma, the one that I have a lot of clothes for. And if you look closely here, this is how she always signed it. So I'm going to use that photo, and I could either take this into PE Design and copy it. Those of you that like to use software, I could take a photo of it and send it to the machine and turn it into embroidery. Any of those options are available. So I need to crop this first. But I was thinking of doing that on a solid color maybe I could do it on this green here and just add a nice oval with her signature. Okay, so lots of ideas for you, but I couldn't possibly show you all that today. So let's just do the mug rug part. And all of these photos are going to fit in there fine. Or if I decide to print this one, this would look good as an applique. All right. So the next step will be attaching this to the side here. And then we have to finish the edges. So you have a lot of options here what you want to do. Now her apron has bias tape. I could make my own bias tape, although it won't match the backside unless I use a cream color. Or in this box, I found some other things. That is one big box. Okay. Oh, there's rickrack. That would look cute on there. Here's some of the red that I thought would match on this side. So you can see I really went through my stash. And there was some bias tape here somewhere. There's blue. I have a dear friend who passed away this past year. She would go to garage sales and drop off all of this stuff. And I was like, what am I going to do with all this? I should start giving it away. And see, I knew there'd be a time when I would need it. So all this is lace, which that would look fine on the side too. But I'm thinking more bias, like a binding. So get these out of here, way out of here. And let's go ahead and cut a piece of bias if you've never done that. So I'm making sure I'm not going to rotary blade over my photos. Here's my fabric. And I'm just folding it. So there's the salvages right here. And if you fold it in half, so here's one salvage and there's the other. Just cut your fabric right there. Then it also leaves a nice straight edge on your fabric when you put it away. And since I'm going to make a few of these, I'm sure that I'll use all this fabric. All right, so when I fold that, if I lay it this way, there's one salvage, here's the other. Take my scissors, and I'm just cutting right down that corner. All right, I'm not sure that the green's going to match that side, but that's what we're going to go with. And then I take this part that I just cut and fold it over. I have to cut going this way, so why don't we do, it's a really small one, 1.5 inch cuts. I don't think that cut all the way. There we go. Almost. There's one. And we'll cut one more. All right. So now we have 1 inch wide strips of bias. We made our own. Let's go to the machine. Fran, I feel better. I mean, it's all kind of discombobulated. That's your word for today. Yeah, but I needed those colors. And the lace, it matches perfect. Right, try finding some of that nowadays. And it's so expensive. Garage sales are a great place for those. Cindy needs a tool belt. No bobby pin for Cindy. She needs a tool belt. Susie, you're right. That's the magazine that this shirt was in. It sure is. All right, so I'm going to go to camera 4, which is the machine. And, you know, if I did not quilt this back side to the front side, a really easy thing to do is to finish this whole side and then sew one solid piece, kind of like a pillow. But I'm not doing that. I'm going to start in this corner with a straight stitch, and I'm just stitching this pocket in place. I think I need to change my needle. And then we'll do this side. And again, I'm just sewing this so then it doesn't move around as I go to sew the binding. All right, and let's trim off the edges. See how nice that looks? I really like this. Okay, so we have binding. You know what? Let me just give it a quick pressing. I don't know why my fabric is so wrinkly today. So you'll just have to go with the sound effects. I'm not taking you back to the ironing board right now. These strips are not long enough to go all the way around. So I need to piece these together. So the easiest way take these. Now, you guys are going to laugh, but sometimes you'll think of things in your mind and it never works out right. I always have to pin this first. So it's on a 45-degree angle and then open it. Do you want to know why? Because I can't tell you how many times I've accidentally pinned it going the wrong way. And then you go to open it and you're like, oh, no, no, no. So I always pin it first and just double check. So basically, you're putting these on a corner and you're stitching from one end to the other. If you've never done binding before. For those of you that sewed the Chloe trench with me, I think we did that on Brother Live during COVID. And it was on It's So Easy that Brother sponsored. That I did this to every single seam where I added the binding. I'm going to make the stitch length a little bit smaller, 2.5. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Okay, and we probably, let's see if we can make it all the way around. Probably not. So let's add one more panel. And if you're going shopping, you can find binding in your store too. So if you find one that's already bound, you can pick those up. Just like that blue one, it just doesn't match. All right, oops, I didn't start. I started stitching too far in. That's what you get for leaning over a camera while you're doing this. All right, and speaking of bobbin roulette, we need to change our thread to match this. So I'm going to grab some green. And I know that I have, I think, the exact color. Very impressive, right? Well, pretty darn close. I know I had a bobbin here. Nope, this is the silver. We had a question this week on the show. How many bobbins do you have in your sewing room? Answer wisely. I think the winner yesterday was somebody had 300. Was it you, Karen? I can't remember. Now, those that do embroidery that buy the pre-round bobbins, then you end up with a lot of bobbins in your studio. All right, so I'll take you up here if you've never done this before. Do you know on this machine you can actually sew while it is winding the bobbin? All right, that's how I do it. And then one last thing, somebody asked me, months ago where the button was if you only want to fill like a half of a bobbin or something like that. It's right here. And I remember staring right at this and I couldn't remember where it was, but I hadn't used it for so long. All right, we won't need a lot. So we'll just let it fill. You see my little catch-all container. I'm sure that when Brother designed this section up here, they did not have Angela Wolf's sewing mess in their mind when they did it. But you know what? It holds my threads. If I'm working on a bunch of different projects, I even got a pattern piece up here. Yeah, it's probably not designed for that, but it works delightfully. All right. So these little triangles here, let's make sure that everything's facing the right way. Have you ever sewn one on and then found out the next one was backwards? Let's not do that live. No, it's fine. So meet me at the iron just for a moment because we need to press these. So I'm not a big quilter. So the big question is, do you press your triangles open or to one side? That's the question of the day. Pressing mine open. I press mine open. All right, and this one's a little messy. One more thing I like to do is I press my entire binding in half so I know exactly where that half mark is. I know, my alert just go off. I cannot believe our hour is already up. Well, I'll go just a few more minutes and get you started on this. But hopefully I gave you a ton of good ideas, especially those that have the Print Moda. But if you have my design center, you could take some of these things I was talking about into my design center. I need to print off my grandmother's signature first. And then my mom also gave me my great-grandmother's signature. I have to print it off, and then I'll take a photo of it and send it because I have to crop it. I don't think they want the whole letter. Then we'd have to have a lesson on itsy-bitsy letters. All right. There we go. Meet you back at the machine. Okay, we've got a mix. Yeah, Jenny, Angela's catch-all. I wonder if they should do that. Oh, hey, Dorinda. We do live shows on Brother, showing all Brother things on Tuesdays at noon and occasional Thursdays. It used to be Tuesdays and Thursdays, but if you go to angelawolf.com, I have the whole schedule on there. So you can go back to Brother Sews. You're on Facebook. If you go to their YouTube channel, you can binge watch forever. But Tuesdays at noon Eastern and most Thursdays at noon Eastern. Yeah. Sarah says, thumbs up. All right. Thanks, Sarah. Yeah, if you like the show, make sure you hit like and let Brother know, and we'll keep the live shows going. Well, I say we. I'm happy to do it as long as they're happy to do it. All right, so here's our end. I'll just put the end, maybe, I guess it really doesn't matter. I'll start at the top here. I'm going to go on this side first. So I just had an idea because I'm looking at this and I don't know that I want all of these little pieces everywhere. And if I go from one end to the other and then do the long end to the other, then I can do each corner. That might look nicer than having, yeah. Well, that's what happens when you start sewing. And oops, let me get that. This is literally how it goes in my sewing room. I forgot to hit the button to thread. Needle in the up position, and there we go. Yeah, I don't know. I like both ways, but let's start at the corner. I'll just do one side. I think you'll get the idea after that. We'll go all the way to the end. So it'll be more of a box instead of having these seams all over. After you sew one side, lift this up, fold it to the right side, and tuck it under. I'll do that again for those of you who've never done that. Fold it, turn it to the right side, and then tuck that under. And we'll end up with a really nice folded edge there. And so what I was debating, I'll take you to the table so you can see this. The other idea is to cut one that's long enough that it goes around the entire piece. So for those that are new that are like, what is she talking about? So once you press it, you have these little seams right here. They're really hard to see. So my option is I sewed it to this side, flip it to the right side, and then tuck it under, and you have a really nice small binding. Now the green doesn't match the back side at all, but it works. So the other option would be to go around and keep this entire piece going, but I'd have a seam there and a little seam right there. So it's really your choice. A couple times, well, I guess it's a 50-50. If I do this strip and then I do this strip, then I can do these both ends and they look fine. So it's totally up to you what you decide to do. And then one last thing. So we'll have our photos in here. I think that's going to turn out super cute. I'll do a little name thing here. And then on the back side, if this green is really bothersome, one more idea for you is to take some more lace and cover that green up and just stitch all the way around so you can cover that up. But I don't know about you, most people probably don't have two aprons that are such diverse colors, right? I mean, they're not even the same tone, but they were the two aprons. So I would love to see if you're going to work on this project. Be sure to tag Brothers Sews. Hopefully I gave you enough lesson there that you can follow along. So I'm trying to remember who was asking for supplies. So basically, go. Jenny says, please keep these live streams. So basically, go through your stash and see what you have. So if you have some, the other thing, by the way, when you're doing these memory gifts, if you have maybe some buttons from their garments. Now, this was only 2 aprons. So when I go to do my grandmother's, I'll make sure I do that live because she had buttons, she had zippers, she had a bunch of different fabrics that could be used. So keep those things in mind too. So the supplies are probably in your stash. Yeah. Oh yeah, Julie, I do that all the time. Hey there, we rehabbed some aprons, so you'll have to watch from the beginning. It was crazy. All right, let me bring up the websites for you. If you go to brothersews.com and if you go to angelawolf.com, I put the schedule for all the live shows on there, so you can just go to the calendar. It makes it easy. But then go to brothersews.com because they have 2 blogs, not just one, but 2. One sewing, one crafting, and you can go back and watch a lot of the replays on the YouTube channel as well. Hey, Marianne, are you machine sewing the finished binding or by hand? Well, you could do either. I'm going to do mine by machine, but whatever you want to do is fine. I like that. Thanks, Michael. All right, very fun. Well, it's so nice to see you all. Next week, the live shows are Tuesday at noon. There's not a live show on Thursday. It's heading off to Memorial Day weekend, but I will have a live show on my channel as well on Wednesday at 1:30. So Tuesday at noon on Brother, 1:30 on mine. And we're always showing cool stuff that Brother has. So if you have the Print Moda, think outside the box and print some beautiful fabric. I might have to go and print some of those pictures. I'll post it on my Instagram if I do, and I'll tag Brother so you can all see it. All right, everyone, have a great day. Until next time, happy sewing. If you're watching the replay and you have questions, just drop them below because we'll come back and answer those if we see them. All right? Okay, till next time, everyone. Have a great weekend too. Bye.